somebody who probably wishes he could talk to people who agree with him right now, who wishes more people agree with him right now.
Yeah.
It's our president, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.
Poor Joe.
Yeah, according to the Quinnipiac poll, his approval rating has dropped to 33%, his lowest yet. He has the approval of just 25% of independents, 26% of men, and only 24% of people between the ages of 18 and 34. At the same point, Donald Trump's presidency, his approval rating was 36%, so not much better. Basically within the margin of error.
Right.
So basically, Biden is where Trump was at a similar phase in his presidency, maybe a little bit less popular. And I was looking at that, and I really think that Joe Biden, he really missed his opportunity. Anybody who follows politics knows that the first 100 days of your presidency are the most important. That's when you had the most power. Okay, you just swept in, you won the election, you've got the bully pulpit. He promised to fight for the public option. He did not do that. He promised that he'd fight for Medicare expansion. And I don't mean just say put it out there. I mean fight for it. Did not do that. With the stroke of a pen, he could decriminalize marijuana. He did not do that. He said he would, but he did not. Free community college is another thing he could have done. And student debt relief. Student debt relief is another thing. He promised that he would erase $10,000 of student debt from everybody. He could do that with the stroke of a pen. He does not need the Republicans to do that. And see, here's the thing, and this is what we got into that cycle with Obama. The minute you start talking about holding these people accountable for breaking their promises, you got a whole bunch of, what was my man from Django Unchained, who Stephen A. Jackson, Stephen.
Oh yeah.
Who Samuel Jackson played.
Samuel Jackson, yeah.
Samuel Jackson played, who want to throw themselves in front of Master. Look, these people have more power than you think. They have a such thing as executive orders. There's a lot of things they can do. Plus, they have the bully pulpit. That's the most important thing. Joe Biden could easily go to Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema and say right now, if you do not support this, I will go into your home district in West Virginia, in Arizona. We will primary your behind. I will support whoever your opponent is. Okay, in the case of Joe Manchin, his entire family is under investigation. He could easily say, look, your daughter, Heather Bresch, is one of the people who's under investigation right now, who's been being looked into for rigging the price of EpiPens in this country. How about if you don't support this, how about I have my people come after her with a vengeance? Okay? Joe Biden's been in Washington, D.C. for 50 years, Rev. 50 years. And he acts like he doesn't know how it works. That's how FDR got things done.
Right.
That's how LBJ got things done.
Exactly.
So if he really wanted to do a lot of this stuff, he would want to. He could do it, but they'd rather use the rotating villain. What say you, Rev?
Well, when I read Manchin's comments about the filibuster, you know what? This guy makes sense because just because you come up with this idea that's basically tailor made to solve this problem, but you're taking such a drastic step that the next time, and it could very well be, this year, the 22 elections. The House could change one way, the Senate could change one way, and it wouldn't take many votes. And here's the other thing, social scientists have long pointed out that right now America is, divided between GOP, Democrat, and undecided. There's actually more undecided as a group than there are either of the other two.
Right, I heard that. I personally think they should get rid of the filibuster for the simple fact that I think it would force more engagement from the public. A big part of the reason that the public has tuned out completely tuned out. Politics, I believe, is this idea and the belief that it doesn't matter who you vote for.
Yeah.
And once, and if we got rid of that filibuster and we knew that there would be consequences, legitimate consequences if you don't vote. If you don't vote in this primary, then the Republicans are gonna, pass an amendment against Roe v. Wade, or gonna pass an amendment to dismantle labor unions, or if the Democrats do win, then they will pass the PRO Act. That will actually change the way that our politicians govern.
Well,
Because there was
that's
just
interesting.
there was just a study that came out that showed that the actual sentiment of the American public actually bears very little on what laws are passed. Meaning, like, it doesn't really matter what's popular with the public. It's really only what matters with the people who are voting, and the politicians and the donor class. Only a very small percentage of people actually have any effect whatsoever on our politics in this country. I feel like if we got rid of the filibuster and you knew that a 51-49 split could drastically change your entire life and everyone else's life, then there is no time for the type of malaise and and politicians themselves could not go against the will of the people at that point, because they would know that if they actually went against the will of the people, then they're out of there.
Well, you do know that, for example, the House of Representatives term is 2 years,
Right.
while the U.S. Senator's term is 6.
Right.
The two bodies are designed to operate differently.
Yeah, I feel you on there.
The House is designed to be extremely sensitive to the voice of the public. The Senate is designed to be much more measured in its understanding about current issues. And I think that the founding fathers did that with purpose. It wasn't that they just said, well, we're going to make the House a place where, one vote can make a difference.
But they didn't do the filibuster. They don't want the filibuster wasn't the founding fathers' idea.
Yeah, but the 60 the idea that you couldn't just with a simple majority pass legislation in the Senate, that was. The Senate was always designed to be a much slower operating body. You had to win over the other side, not just have one or two more votes. You had to get people from the other side to support your position.
But the filibuster came during the 19th century, if I'm not mistaken, as a way to prolong that process even more.
Yeah.
And make it even more inert. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. But remember now, the 19th century is the 1800s.
Yeah. Now, during slavery, right?
Right. Now, when was the country founded? 1783.
Right. The 1780s.
The late 18th century, coming into the 19th century. Right. So it wasn't like a whole lot of time had passed.
Yeah, but I'm saying it still was not a part of the original framework of the country, prolonging things so that we couldn't get rid of slavery. And if I'm not mistaken, they changed the filibuster during the Civil Rights era, right? Didn't they change the filibuster during the Civil Rights era?
That's something I need to look into more.
Yeah, we definitely. Oh crap! It's 6:43. So we're gonna look into that over the break. Please give us a call 219-885-1371. And if you didn't hear me this time, I'll tell you again.
You are listening to Cannon Rev on WLTH 1370 AM. Give us a call, 219-885-1371.